It's low key.
Welcome back to White Noise. I'm your host, Davis, aka Drip, J White Boy of BRP, the sensitive lover boy. As of right now, I am not the BRP predictions champion, but next time you see my face, I will be with that title. And I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Khal, the current BRP predictions champion, the king of chaos, the man that started us all 5 years with the Black Wrestling Podcast. And my other guest, my father,
Listen,
Matt Damon.
I'm off.
Damon.
I'm off.
You literally right there.
I don't do none of that shit when, you know what I'm saying, when I'm off. Like that's,
You don't have me under the wing right now?
No. No. I don't even know who you are.
You're running around on in the sandbox. Just don't hit nobody.
This weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't do none of that shit. You know,
Matt's like, no, it's next weekend I pick you up, not this one, no.
All character work. You know
it's Mother's Day tomorrow.
Shouts out. Facts.
I'm here to show you that I am the greatest guest in White Noise history.
White Noise.
You know why? You know what I mean? Like every I guess hero needs the villain. They can't live without it.
You throwing shade at Semper Vivi and Mimi?
I'm telling you. Yeah. Come on.
Wait, is this Batman versus Joker right now?
This shit, you have to understand that White Noise is created from me.
Yeah.
You understand?
So you would be Batman then?
No.
Yeah.
No, because the Batman stems from chaos.
Chaos!
But there is no chaos without the motherfucker that causes it.
Yes.
So you're the Joker.
A bunch of gasoline and a couple of bullets.
There you go.
Wow. Oh, wow.
I mean,
so Joaquin Phoenix Joker? Oh, come on.
That was the first one that came up when I did the Google search. I'm sorry.
We getting White Noise. Hey, Cal, how long we got Drip under contract?
Shit. What's today? It's like another couple months, but it's renegotiation time.
Yeah, August is when I joined the team in 2020, so I got
you got
months left.
Got another forever, right?
Yeah, got another forever. Facts.
So once White Noise could be outside of a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Once White Noise gets outside of a wall, that's when I will take over and turn it into what it's supposed to be.
What's that?
You gotta wait until we release him from his contract.
Black Static.
Chaos. A bunch of madness.
I don't know how many people, and I'm not trying to take over your show, Trip. This is just a short monologue, right? I don't know how many people that watch this have children. Right. Once you get older and shit, your kids, you start to take interest in the shit that your kids, because they like renew something in you. You know what I mean?
Right. Second childhood.
And that's what you start to live in that. You know what I mean? I think if you don't mind, I know we're behind the paywall, but Drip, if you don't mind, a conversation that we were having was about your mom.
Oh yeah.
Telling you about Dion's.
Mm-hmm.
She bought that. She told you about Dion's, the sneakers, Cal.
Okay.
Yeah.
She told you like, nah, the Dion's are dope because. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Well, she was like, again, it's fun. I mean, we've had my dad, Black Irish, Big Mike, on the show.
Piece of Black Irish.
And he got back into wrestling because I was starting to watch it. You had heard him. He watched Crockett, World Championship Wrestling,
real
all
shit,
that, and then stopped. Attitude Era. I get old enough to watch wrestling and understand it. He starts watching it with me. That's why he has these opinions like Randy Orton's not good because he saw Randy Orton as I'm seeing him. Or he comes back in now because I do the podcast and he's, again, reinvigorated with watching wrestling. Right. And you can see someone like Seth Rollins be like, he's the best guy there right now.
I say all that to say, Drip, my son is a fan of I just got finished playing NBA Playground, right?
Okay.
And I won the NBA Finals with the Brooklyn Nets. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of.
Is that why you thought they were going to win it all, though?
Piece of
No,
NBA
I just won like 2 days ago. I play with the Nets. I have like a renewed interest in KD and Kyrie because pre-algebra loves Kyrie Irving.
Gotcha. This shit?
That.
I never seen this before.
Neither did I until he bought it.
This is on the Switch?
This on the Switch.
Okay,
it's
yeah,
like NBA Jam and NBA.
I was about to say it looks like new NBA Jam.
Oh, it's literally 2-on-2.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like NBA Jam and NBA Street had a kid. But I say all that to say, my son has an interest in Adam Cole.
Baby.
Baby.
He watches him on AEW?
He does.
On his own.
He's a fan now of AEW.
And he's not talking about me, and he said pre-algebra.
No. I jumped from pre-algebra to my oldest son.
There you go. I like that.
So the reason why I'm here is my newfound interest in Adam Cole.
This man? So really this is a celebration of this man?
So one of the things that happened when I joined y'all was you figured out who I was a fan of and who I wasn't. Like right away, it was like, I don't like Triple H, the Miz. I'm a big fan of Adam Cole, Finn Balor, which is why we get the jokes of white noise. Again, it started as the weekly segment. It started with the Jay White, which is why that was the pilot episode of Jay White, that week in Wrestle Kingdom, when he was the talk of wrestling Twitter and what he was going to do next after that.
Right.
And then kind of carried over to Undisputed Era, breaking up Adam Cole, all that, Finn Balor, etc. But Adam Cole's always kind of been a thing that Matth has hated, not been a fan of since the start. I remember, I'll retweet it. There was audio from a show where he's like, the Undisputed Era, they ass. Like, they're frat boys. And like, Adam Cole, he ain't good. And Kyle's like, no, what do you mean? What do you mean? And fans like, no, because fans always this sport, like, no, you gotta play both sides. And Matt's like, nah.
Yeah.
People like him because they think he's Shawn Michaels. And that's been the constant argument that Matth has made, is that Adam Cole is supposed to be Shawn Michaels, but he's not Shawn Michaels, right?
He's not.
He get his hair braided like Shawn Michaels. Look at that. That's Big Matt Shawn Michaels that I knew.
But it's that thing that and I don't know what the name is for it because I don't really care. But people constantly try to reinvent something that people love, and with something that looks the same.
That's happening right now. That's happening with sneakers right now. That's the New Balance 550 right now. That's exactly what you described.
And what they're doing is, so you have that thing, and then you bring this thing, and you do this, and you hope that
that's the key. This is the key.
You have a template, and then you try to recycle it.
What is that shit called? You hope that I can't come up with the words today. I don't know.
You hope that it kind of like reinvigorates that old feel. That's the Drip. Do you know what the New Balance 550 is?
Are those the ones that you have, or are those the ones that
yes,
earlier?
They're the ones that So what happened was they made this sneaker back in 1989. I told my son this story the other day. Now they made the sneaker back in 1989. New Balance. Facts. New Balance said we need to make basketball sneakers. They made them. They weren't good basketball sneakers. Nobody cared about them. Plus, like Nike had all the Flight 89s and all different Jordans and the Dunks and all that. So New Balance pushed that silhouette to the side. If you look for the old silhouette, you can't find the old silhouettes even on like eBay or anything like that. I found one 650. Like from someone's got it in England, but it's like a size 6. Like I couldn't do nothing but put it up on the wall.
Right.
This designer a couple years ago, maybe like 2019. Teddy somebody.
Anyway.
Teddy Pendergrass, who works at New Balance. Excuse me. He found the silhouette and he said, "Yo, this is ill. I want to put this out on my brand." He said, "I'm trying to shine on this shit." And they only had it in a Korean or a Japanese retail magazine from that. They had to find somebody who had the sneakers so they could recreate the sneakers and then put them out. And what had happened was, because the sneakers was ill and they did like a really good job, premium leather, especially the Amy Leon Dior was like them shits is hard, but they realized, like, because of the dad sneaker wave, this is where we get to Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Because of the dad sneaker wave, they hit at the exact right time. They fit the aesthetic. They were homegrown enough to where New Balance like, we can take this and really, route. And now it's literally become their Nike Dunk. This is their, like, they have a product that they can now put up against the rest of the stuff. No. And it's not even a diss, because I love the 550. If I could get a couple more, I would cop.
And it's dope.
It's dope. But like, I also have Dunks and I have Jordan 1s, and like it's like I have kicks in the closet that probably maybe feel a little bit better on my feet, that give me the same aesthetic that I want, with the weirdo lines up on this. Like, it be the same shit. And it's no disrespect, because I mean, dude, I watch AEW. Dude can go, but like, I'm old. I've seen it.
Son,
let's take it.
I'm sorry.
It's your show.
I'm sorry.
No, I want to take it to the start where I can see this argument being valid. So, like, I kind of out of wrestling in like 2010, 2011-ish. I get back in 2012. I start watching PWG highlights. I see Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly for the first time as Future Shock. I become fans of them instantly. Then I'm like watching like that year where they kind of break up, and then I start watching them in Ring of Honor. They kind of do the same thing. They were a team. They break up. They feud. So that's the Rockers, Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels. And kind of the argument that someone like Matth would make is, if we really look at it, Jannetty was the better guy. I don't know if Matth would say Kyle O'Reilly is better than Adam Cole, because you think Kyle O'Reilly's just that guy. He's going to have a good match, but he's not meant to lead the band. He's not meant to be the front man.
No.
Right.
But Adam Cole was the guy post Future Shock. He became ROH TV champ, and then he wins PWG's Battle of Los Angeles and the PWG title, and then becomes ROH champ. And he always beats Kyle O'Reilly and establishes himself as this dickhead, bandana wearing asshole that is very Shawn Michaels-esque. He does like suck my dick, like crotch chop, super kicks, like all this. And I'm like, I hate this fucking guy. I can't stand him.
I don't want to cut you off, Trip. I'm sorry, because you're running. My question in the middle of that is, why do you think he was given these opportunities? Because when you went back, you said that Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole were Rockers-esque. So do you think that they saw that, okay, this guy reminds me of Shawn Michaels, let's give him this rub? Is that what do you think that that's the reason why he was pushed to the forefront, or do you think that he was that good? Because let's revisit who he was wrestling with at the time.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you see. Like, I think prior to this, he was in CZW with Mia Yim, and I think they were kind of doing a Shawn Michaels Sherry thing there as well. But I never really saw much of that, and still haven't. But seeing him as Future Shock, and I kind of gravitated towards Kyle O'Reilly instantly because he had that MMA feel. And at the time, I was still in the UFC like that, and I liked the aspect of making wrestling and MMA a hybrid. Like, you can do both in the same, make it feel more real, and take aspects like armbar strikes and not just bad punches, like throw a knee, throw some elbow strikes and all that, submissions on the ground, besides like a figure four, like do an armbar, do a guillotine chokehold and all that. But you see Adam Cole post that, like I said, the reason I hate him because like he'd win and he'd be like, I'm the best. He'd do the Shawn Michaels DX stuff. Like I told you, he's the crotch chopping, like being an ass. I'm like, fuck this guy. And I have already figured out by this time, I'm smart to the business. I'm reading stuff behind the scenes. I'm not thinking about like what you just said, Matt. Like, is he supposed to be Shawn Michaels? I'm not really looking at it like that. I'm looking at him like, this guy's a dickhead. Like you always say, he's supposed to be. I'm like, in hindsight, he's supposed to be that because out of the two, one was always going to be the instant, like always babyface. Kyle O'Reilly, like he could never be heel because he's the scrappy Daniel Bryan underdog that's going to have to have all the skill to win.
He's the blue collar guy.
Mm-hmm. He can do dirty tactics and stuff like that, but like him as a face is always guaranteed to work. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But Adam Cole can do the whole like boo me because it's so easy to boo me because I can be that damn good whether you think I am or not. I can do a Canadian Destroyer. I can do super kicks galore.
Yeah.
But and he's the undersized guy, so he's going to be that dastardly heel that has to cheat to win. And you hope that he doesn't retain at the end of the day. He beats Kevin Steen, Sami Callihan, Eddie Edwards, a bunch of guys in PWG and then ROH and Jay Lethal as well. And kind of around this time, I'd say, he joins the Kingdom, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. He's kind of like the odd man in that group. But when he joins the Elite and I start watching Being the Elite and he's part of that show for the first couple episodes, kind of like the first year, I'm like, oh, as I kind of like learn his personality, I'm like, oh, this guy's kind of cool. Like, I start to, I guess, not be a mark like you're saying I was with Dwayne Johnson. I start separating the two. I listened to his Art of Wrestling and him telling the story of what got him into wrestling. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it's not that bad, like of a guy. But seeing him in NXT,
sure.
I think.
Wait. Let me ask you. I want to ask a question.
We all have a bias.
No,
because
I'm saying mine's with Adam Cole compared to
earlier. You said that, like you said that when you saw him, you're like, oh, this guy's a dick, and then like later on, you started to rock with what he was saying. Do you think? Is it that he stopped being a dick, or maybe you started being a dick, and that's why you related to what he?
Oh, probably both, actually. Yeah, now that you say it.
I'm sorry. I just had to ask.
No, you're that's 100%. I think people would. I think there was footage and proof.
The oranges get peeled back, which is crazy.
Wait, did I keep that one bit? Fuck, I don't have just retired bitch in here. God damn it. All right, anyway.
Oh, you telling me to just are you saying like
no wait, here we go.
Back.
So yeah, I like Cody Rhodes. Just retire, bitch.
But you see this man, he's like, I like that. Like he wants to do like that's right. He wants to play devil's advocate. He wants to be
get him.
Listen, we all lean into our character.
Say it right now.
No, but I'm starting to watch. Like I'd seen him more PWG highlights than him in ROH. Matthew and Fam got to watch ROH a lot more because it was kind of in that scene. And the whole time, you're like, this guy isn't it, right?
No, the thing
in terms of like the guy that everyone thinks he is. He's good, but he's not the guy.
Honestly, then in ROH, he was like a guy that was in the mix to me because I was more focused on Samoa Joe and the guy who came under Shawn Michaels, because around the time that all the talk was about the guy who came under Shawn Michaels, which was Brian Bryanson. You know what I mean? Like that was all the talk. All the talk was always the guy that Shawn Michaels is training. If you don't recall, you're a little bit younger, but when you would go online and go on WrestleBoard or Wrestling Planet or whatever, it would say Shawn Michaels training American Dragon. And me thinking American Dragon, I'm like, damn, it's a Japanese wrestler.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then just finding out who that was, you're like, oh shit. He's the guy.
It's a white guy.
The first, right. And so the first thing I'm looking at when I see ROH is Brian Bryanson. And I'm like, all right, oh, he's doing more submission moves. When I'm thinking it's Shawn Michaels, I'm thinking more Shawn Michaels-esque.
Super kicks and shit.
But he'll do the flip off the top rope.
But
He'll have similar, but it's not the same, right?
It's
You
not
think
the
he'd
same.
wrestle that style.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels wasn't stomping on people's heads back then at all, really, at all.
And then you see the cow udder or whatever you call it, the mass
mutilation,
the cattle mutilation.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
And then the elbow strikes. Yeah.
When I see that, I'm like, okay, he's not wrestling like Shawn Michaels. Let me actually watch this shit for what it is. And I was never pointed to Adam Cole because he was in the middle. Even in the middle, I'm looking at Kevin Steen because he was like violent. And I'm like, damn, Kevin Steen just packaged power driven, pause, some other dude. And then he done switched. And oh shit, it's this nigga with this mask on. It's like a do-rag mask. And he's spinning around and shit. So
Kevin Steen got Umbros on.
So I was never looking at Adam Cole.
Right.
Never. To answer your question.
Like another white guy.
And that's it. You see, like Samoa Joe's kind of 2000s, Bryan Danielson as well, 2000s ROH, 2010s, early 2010s is Kevin Steen, Davey Richards, El Generico, and Adam Cole kind of comes at the bottom of the card. And like Shawn Michaels, rised up I don't think he was tag champ, but TV champ, world champ.
TV champ. And around that time, that's when it started to come on television here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I started watching ROH TV on YouTube. They'd put it on YouTube.
It was
on that time. Yeah.
The whole show?
I don't remember if it was the whole show, but I was able to watch because that's how, like, in the 2010s, it's mainly like 2010, 2011, 2012. I didn't have much internet access at my mom's, but
it was
what I did find was
it was the internet.
But I'd try to find ROH because I'm like, I had a PWG best of DVD, so that's how I was able to like find their highlights on YouTube. And I'm like, so if I see Adam Cole here, where can I find Adam Cole elsewhere? Kyle O'Reilly elsewhere, El Generico elsewhere, like Ring of Honor. I'm like, oh, I remember that because Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, Samoa Joe were there. I read that in the Pro Riot Institute's best of book that I had, and like, okay, like who are all these champions and all that? I'd search them up. And come 2017, when being the Elite's out, like I said, I watched Wrestle Kingdom. I had watched him and Kyle O'Reilly at Final Battle 2016, which was like their grand finale, and that's when the rumors were. That's when their rumors are starting that Adam Cole was going to leave. They have a rematch at Wrestle Kingdom. Adam Cole beats Kyle O'Reilly for the title, and it's like the whole thing was like Kyle O'Reilly was supposed to have his Bryan Danielson moment of like finally beating Adam Cole. They had run the same storyline in PWG like a year or two prior, where like Kyle already had chance after chance. He won Bola. He lost to Adam Cole. They wrestled again. He won the title this time. And then he drops it to Roddy Strong, funny enough. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roddy Strong. 3 straight PWG champs. 3 members of Undisputed Era.
Jesus Christ. Wait, these people?
Well, no, that's Bobby Fish. That's
Fish. That's Fish.
These
Strong is the one on the left.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Free Roddy Strong. Let him join his family in AEW.
Roddy Strong. I do.
He's still on NXT?
Strong. No.
Yeah, he was.
Well, his shit is coming to an end.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
I do remember because it was Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong.
The big motherfucker Michael Elgin.
Michael House of Truth. Yeah.
It was Jay Lethal. And it was one other white dude that I can remember from ROH and shit. Fuck is his name, yo? It reminds me of Alex Wright. Alex Shelley. Okay.
So
yeah, I remember seeing those dudes, and again, I still don't. Adam Cole never clicked with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was the fact that he looked like everybody else. To me,
I could see that.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, Drip.
Yeah,
like he
just looks like a regular guy. Yeah,
yeah,
but he's supposed to be Shawn Michaels because he has long hair, throws super kicks, and then does the whole like "fuck you, I'm the best."
He
mentality.
looks like this is Shawn Michaels right here.
Yes, he looks exactly like him. So
this is Shawn Michaels.
But like Matt's always argument with Shawn Michaels, which Shawn Michaels are we talking about? Because this
It's
obviously is
like I'm crazy.
No, but this obviously isn't post comeback Shawn Michaels in 02 to 2010. This isn't him.
You know what it is, Drip?
This would mainly be, would this be early post rocker Shawn Michaels or just DX Shawn Michaels? Because that's what it kind of really is.
You know what this is, Drip? Do you know how? Damn. All right. Do you know how we got a black Nick Fury in the movies? Mm-hmm. Nick Fury was a white man in the car.
White guy,
yeah.
What had happened?
David Hasselhoff in that one TV movie, right?
Facts. What had happened was somebody at Marvel said we're gonna have like an alternate universe. We're gonna have the ultimate universe.
The Ultimates. Mark Millar.
Shouts to Mark Millar. He made
shout out to Mark Millar.
He created Kingsman.
He had a black Nick Fury because he was a fan of Sam Jackson, which is the irony because then Sam Jackson played him in the movies. They ended up doing the Afro Latino Spider-Man because their Spider-Man died. Like all these changes. I think what Adam Cole is. I think Adam Cole is Ultimate Universe Shawn Michaels because they would just like pick and choose. Like, oh, I like the super kicks, and I like the long hair, and I like the crotch grabs and chops and like that. Like they're just picking like it's the greatest attributes. It's like a. But
wouldn't the real Ultimate version be? And I think Matt said this before, and it's kind of obvious. Is Carmelo Hayes in NXT 2.0 right now? Isn't he really Ultimate?
He's
Shawn
black.
Michaels with. I'm saying if Nick Fury was white before and then became black.
You're not wrong, but they don't look at him.
He has a Diesel as Trick Williams. He brought Ali J out like how Shawn Michaels would have the women with him. He does the the A champ.
But he doesn't have the complexion for the connection in terms of getting like actual like main event, future star recognition. I mean, if you think they're gonna put him on top, because I mean that means you're talking. How long was Adam Cole a champion in NXT alone? Like he was, they were on top. It was.
He almost had a year title run. Yeah,
it was this shit for him. They got all the titles. Look at him. Mm-hmm. Carmelo Hayes. Does he have 3 other people to make a squad to own the
3 other people in NXT?
That's when if they could build this for Carmelo Hayes, I think
what's really this supposed to be? Isn't this supposed to be the Click? Isn't this supposed to be X-Pac? Well, I mean, 1, 2, 3 Kid, Razor Ramon, Diesel.
That's the problem, and I think that's the problem.
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying the aesthetic of it. Like,
that's the problem. Is they didn't say it.
No.
They let you say it,
and they just ran with
issue, right?
And then it just ran, and that's the thing. They never said it.
They didn't need to.
Adam Cole did all of the Shawn Michaels as shit because he was probably programmed to say, once motherfuckers sat there and told him, like, oh, you look like Shawn Michaels, can you do more X, Y, Z? He just added it in. And he saw that.
Yes.
You see that's what's getting you where you gotta go.
Post that again, Cal, the image of Ricochet and the super kick in midair. That's the Shelton Benjamin super kick out of nowhere. Like
there you go. Come here, black guy. Help me out right quick. I got to innovate another move. We got to look at the ref. I said, God damn, he really did all that.
But I think what you just said, Matt, and what you said the whole time.
Why you doing that? God damn. I'm sorry.
Is because he's a regular guy. So how can he stand out? Be like the guy who was talked about the most, whether he was the best, whether he was overrated, underrated.
Have you been seeing what we've been saying and just not saying shit about it?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Yo, I'm a complete sidebar. I'm sorry to throw this show off track.
No.
Did Shawn Michaels? I'm a firm believer. I'm not a Shawn Michaels hater, but sometimes you just gotta lean into certain shit. Did Shawn Michaels start the crotch chopping and all that shit because he needed something to get him over?
Like
Probably.
what?
Well, I mean, he already had his pose, but I mean, as a heel, you mean like
not what I mean. He needed something to get him over because in ring, he knew that his in ring, like, all right,
is already
it's over. So I need something to divert the attention from the fact that I'm not the showstopper to keep me as the showstopper. So you're gonna suck on this, show me your titties, that kind of shit.
Well,
I'm gonna do what nobody else is gonna do.
All over the place. He's like, if I'm gonna be the ultimate seller, which was his thing, I'm gonna make everyone else look good, so that makes me seem better than I am. Because if I'm making guys that aren't that good look good, and then when I do my own shit, the two combined make me better than I am.
Was that the end?
You're saying the end of the first run?
That was the end.
Yeah, I think.
But did he know it was the end? So that's why you get a bunch of suckets. This is why you get
because he's pilled up and in pain. Yeah,
you get all this shit. You know,
because this literally would have been him at the like. You see how there's Jim Ross and there's Jerry Lawler. There's a chair right there. You feel me? He probably was going to sit on the mic and talk shit during them. It might have been a Hunter Hearst Helmsley match.
Right. And don't forget, he had done the fake retirement because he didn't want a job, and they said that it was an injury.
It was an injury.
But the injury wasn't as bad as they thought. Cal, post the image of Adam Cole and Karrion Kross, because that's something that's similar. Because remember
this guy.
So this is the ultimate Shawn Michaels thing. You have the look. You got the girl. You got the entrance. You're a Vince McMahon type guy. But when it comes to in the ring, you can't lace my boots. It's just what the whole, like, I am the icon, the showstopper. He'd look at, like, Kevin Nash, his own friend, and be like, you might have the size, the look, and all that, but you can't wrestle like I can. You can't do a moonsault to the outside. You can't throw a super kick. You can't bounce all over the place. You can just throw elbows in the corner.
You can't kick black guys like this.
That was before.
Now, Karrion Kross, I think, can. I mean,
that was before that.
I'm sorry.
But that's what that's supposed to be like. Shawn Michaels I'm going to be the brash guy, because he gets on the announce table right after that. So that's how that promo ends. He goes on the announce table, and Callie's like this, like, what?
He does like, suck it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he basically does it without saying it.
Suck it.
He does the, like, I am the best. Like, I'm Adam Cole. Like, no one can touch me. He does the Shawn Michaels, like, sports entertainer.
Suck my dick.
I mean, there's a PWG match where he literally goes like, suck my dick. This is the most SYDs of one, but he literally does this.
Wait, you know what kills me? Because, like, I mean, again, ultrasound.
And again, I'm like, fuck this dude. But then I see him like years later, and I'm like, oh, you know, maybe he's not that bad. Then I watch the matches, and I'm like, you know what? I always thought he was like kind of good in the ring, but at the time, I'm like, but I think Kyle O'Reilly's better, and I still do. I always still thought Kyle O'Reilly is better.
Drew, when was the last time you looked at? Because I'm gonna kind of derail us for one more second. The conversation that we have about FTR off air.
Oh, that, yeah.
Is always their opponents have got them that shine. We never had that conversation about Adam Cole. Why?
That's a good question.
But do you think Adam Cole gets carried a lot of the time, or
I'm
just as good as the guys he wrestles?
I'm asking you that because honestly, I'm only saying that because it's kind of jumping the gun. I'm sorry, but we've seen the sample size from where he stands now.
I was about to say, I think that matters more now because where he's at. ROH, PWG, NXT kind of gets lucky because those are supposed to be the work rate guys. And AW is supposed to be somewhat, but I mean, him and Evil Uno, I think that's one Cal always brought up, or him and
he fought, because it seemed like he fought Evil Uno like every other day.
I mean,
he was
it's just like he faced Jungle Boy early on. That was his first
match. He popped up on Dynamite like 16-2 and they're like, yeah, he's ready for the main event. And then it's like, wait, who did he wrestle? It was like Evil Uno. Like it was just random. It was really random people. And of course he's going to beat him.
Like I said, like, so he shows up. We talked about this on the recent episode with Meals and Justin. Shouts out to the VA show. That he shows up at the end of All Out and then kind of gets usurped by Bryan Danielson's pop. That matters more because it's the thing that happened last and kind of people would have cared about it more to begin with. But he has to kind of work his way to the title by like again beating these guys that he should already kind of be better than if he was Cal. If you want to post an image of him with all the titles, he's a guy that's already been PWG champ, ROH champ. I think he was the second or third ever, no, first ever 30-time ROH champ. NXT champion, longest title reign. I believe is.
How old is that picture with him without the facial?
Oh, hair? Him with the bandanas. That's what I mean. Like, look at this dickhead with this bandana on. I'm like, who is this fucking guy?
You need to have facial hair, bro, because it look like a different type motherfucker without
Hey, some of us aren't lucky to grow facial hair, Cal.
My fault.
Facts.
Without it looking horrible for months and months, I gotta hide myself.
You was doing good.
I did have a beard.
You had like low key like looked like you was about to start growing with some. If you wanted to grow.
Oh, you mean like in the early BRP on video days?
I got it. All right, continue.
Nigga said I look like an R&B singer, a neo soul singer and shit.
Let me continue.
So this guy is the top. Like he said, like I've been the champ everywhere I've been. He shows up to AEW and he's not that right away. Like now he's lost to Hangman Page twice. So it's like. They don't even know how to use Adam Cole. People are saying this guy isn't as cool as he once was. And I think there's only like 2 or 3 people in AEW that are really cool. It's Ricky Starks, Jade Cargill, and Orange Cassidy, just because that's his gimmick. Is he supposed to be?
He's super cool.
Yeah.
You don't think Hangman Page is cool?
I was almost going to say
no.
But no one likes Hangman Page.
He is not
the ultimate babyface champ.
I think
he is too. I think he's right below.
I think he's cool.
Because he just turned heel, and it sounded like the weakest heel turn the other night on.
It was a bad.
I don't think he was heel. He just cut a heel promo.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Hold on.
Because he's been kind of again. He pushed the Dark Order aside.
Of course, this man would say. That Adam Page he wasn't. I'm sorry. Continue.
Ass.
But that's the thing. People are like this. He's not the same. But I think people also have their bias against AEW as well. We had said it with Justin. Like the presentation of Cody Rhodes is different in AEW. I'm like, is it really different than him in AEW than him in WWE? Because you like one more than like we were saying about Keith Lee. Keith Lee's probably not that same guy. In AEW, Andrade's not that same guy in AEW. Malachi Black's not that same guy in AEW, right? Which is it that it's just because Tony Khan wants these people to do what they want to do, so they can feel like they're not being like controlled by Vince McMahon and all that. But he doesn't have that. Again, look at the show; it's not as, especially as of late. There's just something wrong with it. I think Adam Cole being.
You're saying the AEW show in general.
And the show in general, yeah. There's again, like we said this week, the matches are what make the show good.
The matches are what makes the show.
And I've always said why I like AEW is because they have the wrestlers I like. They have Keith Lee, they have Andrade, they have Adam Cole, they have so on and so on.
But
I don't think Tony Khan knows how to use them. I don't think he knows what makes them stand out.
Well, first,
except for matches.
Except for matches.
When Matth made it to the barbershop, he said,
"Can't believe I made
it." But I think the problem with this guy in AEW, which is,
he was cool in that moment because that was.
Yeah, because
that's a surprise. That's a debut.
Because everybody's so hype. Yeah, the guy I love is because this is what we want. But and then what happens? There's so many people, and you really have Tony Khan booking everything. It's not, and I'm not even dissing Tony Khan because he can book. But the thing is, I think and I don't know if it's a fact because I don't know how involved he's in like the Adam Cole Hangman Page match or their recent storyline. I don't know how involved he is in that week to week because it was kind of just them jaw jacking back and
or
forth.
the Undisputed Elite faction as a whole, because again, the Young Bucks are part of that, and they're the other EVPs.
But what I'm saying is there's a lot of storylines that like I don't want to say they recycle, but it's things that that's a callback to this, or this is based off of that. Like if he gives certain people a certain amount of leeway and all they can really do is book themselves the way they've been booking themselves for the last like decade, at a certain point you've seen the storyline before, and he can only make things go so crazy before the pay-per-view, because we also know that once we get to the pay-per-view, it's time that the shit is about to stick. So it's I think they need more. This is when you need more brains over there, because I'm tired of seeing 20 iterations of we're the best and we're the best and we're going to make a super team, but once we make this super team, we're all going to start hating each other, because that's all I've seen from Adam Cole and Red Dragon and the Young Bucks and whoever's in their clique, and it's like 20 of them on TV.
They had to play up when the Elite were taking off, the Undisputed Era were taking off, and they were both, and they had links to each other, and they were in the other companies. One company just started, the other company was running NXT. So they had to play what happens when these two teams are obviously not going to get along, even though they have a central figure apart. Same thing like
what happens for a title.
What happens when Kenny Omega comes back? That's the ultimate part of that story. And then we have a real, like I said, White Boy Warfare a few weeks ago.
White Boy Warfare. I almost called an episode White Boy Warfare.
White Boy Warfare is insane.
But this plays up to, because this all started because Matth said he was Kyle Korver. Adam Cole can't be that guy of the team.
Cole Korver. He looks amazing in Utah. You put him next to a superstar, you see what he is. He's a role player.
There you go.
You can't put him next to anybody that's going to shine. You can't, because it's going to show you that his light is dim.
Which is why Kyle Korver made an all-star team with Al Horford, Paul Millsap, and Jeff Teague when they were running the table at the Hawks that one year. And then
with the Hawks.
Yeah.
And what is Al Horford now? Granted, he's older.
No, but like, what did the Hawks team do in the end?
Nothing. They did nothing.
And you're saying that's what the Undisputed Era is?
The Undisputed Era is...
Because it all happened in NXT, not the main roster, right?
It just
so it's cool that you killed it down there and you got that pop and you were in the guys there. But we all know what would have happened if you went up to Raw or SmackDown. You would have been Butch. You would have been, Jay Now, Tommaso Ciampa. You would have been Theory.
Butch, you just would have been O'Reilly.
No, he would have been Khal.
You would have just been O'Reilly.
Damn, I didn't.
O'Reilly Shaughnessy.
Not to toot my own horn, but when we had Evan T. Mack on the podcast, and he called somebody something ice cream man Jones or whatever he called
no, Hangman Page. Remember, he's like, look at the name Hangman. What's that associated with? Like, if he was in WWE, he'd be Ice Cream Page or something like that.
Yeah, and then I just said, and then in 6 weeks his name would be Cream, and everybody. Yeah. I almost made a clip just because I made everybody laugh, but I didn't. That's what would have happened. I mean, O'Reilly would have just been, you know what I mean? Like he would have, if he was able to make it through the main roster boot camp and survive. Because I look at the way I don't know. Can he cut a promo?
Yeah.
The way he's looking at his man, he can cut a promo.
No, he can't. That's always been the thing with Kyle O'Reilly. He can't. Because remember, so Undisputed Era breaks up, and it's like they finally did it. Kyle O'Reilly becomes Cool Kyle, and it's like, ooh, this is a bad fit.
Cool Kyle.
Because his whole thing, like in the Indies, is that he would be like sleazy Kyle at times, or like it just he was just meant to like show up, wrestle.
Is he the one who made it cool to not say that guy's name right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I can remember he's like Peter Dune. His whole thing would be like to mispronounce guy's name.
Like Cool Kyle with these glasses.
Dog is Tridash.
This is
like, oh, look at him trying to be Orange Cassidy. It's like
Orange Cassidy.
This. Hold on. This is
again,
what
who Adam Cole feuded with. Again, who's the cooler guy in the feud?
What
The
year
guy
was
who,
this? This was Thunderdome era. Kyle O'Reilly.
This is right after he beat Adam Cole at Stand and Deliver.
That was after he beat him. Yeah.
And remember, what was the whole thing about the feud? Like, it was a match that didn't count, so Adam Cole could be like, Kyle O'Reilly's never beat me. It was an unsanctioned match. He never won.
They had like 6 matches.
Cool.
Then they had a rematch. Adam Cole won, and they had the 2 out of 3 falls match. Then Adam Cole leaves, goes to AEW. Then Kyle O'Reilly treads water with fucking Von Wagner, and then leaves. Because, like you said, like, so if he's Kyle Korver, Kyle O'Reilly, what would he be then? Like Mehmet Okur or Andre Karolinko?
Kyle O'Reilly, no, because Karolinko started. He was a good defender.
Just so we're
clear, is Kyle O'Reilly. Watch Kyle O'Reilly, Jungle Boy last week. Then watch him when him and Ray Phoenix have a match. It'll be he can have great matches.
Watch Kyle O'Reilly in this image that I did not Photoshop. I promise you. Put them glasses on this man. It's the same motherfucker. He just got a bullet.
Guy. It's fucking well, yeah.
That's crazy. The shirt got or the jacket got rips in it.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Cassidy.
Cool Kyle. Let me delete this.
Orange O'Reilly.
Orange.
Yo, they're not. Adam Cole came on Black Wrestling's radar because we saw Shawn Michaels. That's it.
In NXT or ROH PWG because it
was the team. It was the
guy. Who's the guy responsible for Undisputed Era?
The Undisputed Era.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels. This is us, man. This is us. Now, in my past life,
we're going to turn them into DX. I can understand that they had that conversation. I understand why. But you also got to understand why we had the conversations we had, because we already saw this shit.
In many iterations.
So when he comes in and the ladder match for the NXT North American title happens and everybody's going berserk because it's insane, I'm like, dog, I saw this shit 15 years ago. I'm not excited about it. Motherfuckers like, yo, Adam Cole. Y'all done gave him middle names and all this shit. Shout out to Eve.
Oh, Kwame.
But I know what this is. I'm not hype about the shit because I saw.
But he would take that middle name now because he's not cool anymore. But that's because he's
right. But he never was.
He was always there.
I'm saying that's what I'm trying to say for all the haters. It's the NXT spotlight of the 2-man power trip, really, of Shawn Michaels and Triple H making him what he was. Yeah.
Y'all buying into it made it what it was. And now, who's responsible for him not being what he is? Y'all.
I think it's Tony Khan still.
No, because it's the same guy.
Remember, like you said,
it's the same. It's
ovation.
The with Cody Rhodes, though. It's the same guy. It's the same guy who's going to be like, I'm going to be, again, he's the politician. Look at him in AEW. Look at him in WWE. I'm going to wrestle all the guys you want me to wrestle. I'm going to fire up.
Cody Rhodes has always been Cody.
Not always.
I will say that. I will
dashing Cody Rhodes. He was all this stuff. He's not the Cody Rhodes that we've known for the last 6 years.
But
he's never that Cody Rhodes.
But drip in 2022, I will say this: the Cody Rhodes that we have in 2022 is a much better fit in the WWE in his position than the Adam Cole that AEW has right now, because that he was just in a doo-doo ass garbage, fucking stupid World Heavyweight Championship main event storyline that went nowhere. He lost a match, and then he had another fucking match on TV that he lost.
It's meant to elevate Hangman Page because the detractors are he's not a good.
So
as a babyface, they already had Bryan Danielson put him over with the 60-minute draw and then that 30-minute win.
But Bryan Danielson been
exactly.
Adam Cole.
And the story of Adam Page and Adam Cole was, I was always the guy at the top of the card. You were always the guy below, and now when I was gone, you become the guy. But I've always been the guy. It's that Shawn Michaels, Triple H thing. When I come back, look at what you've done. I'm still better than you, though. At the end of the day, I'm still better than you. And I'll put you over because you're my friend, but still.
But then why have him lose straight up main event pro wrestling matches and then have him straight up lose the major stipulation match as well? Like why? Because I feel like they did an entire angle. I saw an entire angle, and Adam Cole was the loser multiple times in ring and out of ring. So at a certain point, because again, I've been watching pro wrestling, he's still supposed to be a viable contender. He's a viable cool guy because y'all do this shit and y'all love when he hits when he enters that motherfucker. But when it's time to get in the ring and get it done, he always loses.
Yeah. It's the Shawn Adam Cole. It's the Shawn Michaels thing.
Adam Cole was Adam Cole because y'all made him Adam Cole, and y'all don't want to be now you're not Adam Cole fans, and because you see what he is, and he's, you know what I'm saying? If y'all were to support Adam Cole the same way y'all supported him in NXT, he would that Hangman Page shit wouldn't have happened.
No, but I think y'all, because I think they picked the guy who was down since day one in Hangman Page. That was the guy they wanted to make.
But y'all were down since day one, Drip, and now y'all turned on your man.
I'm not sure. No, I'm still. When people say something cool, I'm like,
no, you're not, because you have came over to our side throughout this show.
No, I've said that. I see your guys' arguments, and again, I can understand. But like at the end of the day, like that's why he'll win the Owen Hart Cup.
He's gonna win the cup.
Because Tony Khan is like, all right, so he took the L to Hangman Page. He lost the Texas Death Match. Those are 2 title matches, but then he'll win this, and that'll justify him losing. And then he'll probably be TNT champ by the end of the summer.
Drip. I don't think Adam Cole, and I don't know Adam Cole is the guy off TV. He's probably a wonderful dude, but he's not the guy that y'all made him out to be.
Correct.
He's not because he looked like something. Y'all ran with it, and then y'all switch sides on him, son. It's crazy.
They should. Why don't they have him out doing the TNT championship?
Because
he'll win this cup, and then he'll. Well, I mean, no, because the TNT champ's kind of defending the title every week or every other week until the Scorpio Sky Sammy Guevara bullshit. That's why Cody Rhodes had that again. I'm going to be first ever TNT champ and defend it week after week. Start of the show. Darby Allin kind of ended a lot of the shows as TNT champ, so it kind of had this luster to like being the TNT champ.
But
why and him winning will be like the first major guy in their opinion to win it, because Darby Allin, it's a stepping stone. Sammy Guevara, it's a stepping stone.
I should probably
this guy. It's a diversity play.
But I mean, I guess what is the Spanish demographic up because Sammy Guevara has a title?
They don't know he's Spanish.
No, the thing is, once Sammy Guevara is done with that, and whoever will be babyface champ, it's him to be the shithead heel that everyone hates, so the babyface world champ can beat.
Let me step. How long has Adam Cole been wrestling?
Since
wrestling.
I think 20.
You're talking 2008.
So that's a good almost 15 years. At some point, he's going to be ready.
It might be after that. I could be wrong. It could be 10 years.
Why? How come he isn't king of
Page, right?
No, Adam Cole.
Cole.
Adam Cole. I'm sorry. I said Page. I'm sorry.
You said Cole. You said Cole.
You said Cole. Yeah, it's 08.
2008, yeah.
He's 15 years in. How come he's not the king of the mid-card? How come?
Right now?
How come he's not Mr. Perfect? How come you don't give Adam Cole the TNT Championship? Have him wrestle people weekly. He's already wrestling Evil Unos and all that stuff. You could have him have an undefeated TNT Championship streak while helping put people over because he's got the experience of almost 15 years as a pro wrestler. And then when he's ready, you hope that he's got enough juice, which I guess is what Vince McMahon was doing. You hope that Adam Cole's got enough juice to adequately fight for a title because that Adam Page shit was.
They had to shotgun him to a title match quick because everyone's like, they're wasting Adam Cole. Like everyone says when someone debuts on Dynamite and then 3 weeks later, look at what they're doing. They're being wasted. So they had to shotgun him to the title, even though it's like if he would have won, that would have made sense. I said this week. He should have won because it would have shown that he was that guy then. Now he's the guy that lost at Hangman Page twice.
Facts.
So but you didn't want him. You didn't want him to win.
I did.
You had him. He should have won.
I wanted him to win then too. I'm like, he needs. I'm sorry, Hangman Page. Like, Adam Cole needs to win.
Not you. Not you, but yeah.
He was not winning. He winning shit.
But then so he'll win Owen Cup, and then Kenny Omega will come back probably after that. They'll have the Civil War, and then we still got Forbidden Door, Jay White, all of this to fuck everything up, like the multiverse of madness, all of it. He'll win TNT champ sometime this year. He'll do that run, and he'll probably make someone like Hook. He'll probably make somewhat like beating like Hook would probably beat Adam Cole for like the TNT title at some point at the end of this year.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that.
It's too many good wrestlers that are going to get passed over.
That's a fact.
Because Adam Cole is there. If they were going to if you wanted to pull the trigger and get other motherfuckers over, you needed him to beat Hangman Page, and that wasn't the way to go.
It would seem like
it wasn't the way to go though. It wasn't the way. So
he would like hit him like an emergency eject, Hangman Page isn't working because people wanted Danielson to win because they had the 2 great matches, and it's like Hangman Page and Lance Archer just randomly like, okay, I guess.
Ain't nobody worried about them.
So your main takeaway, Matt, is that you think I betrayed Adam Cole because I see your guys' arguments as valid. Because I'm not disagreeing with what you said a lot of time. I mean, I still like him.
I don't think he betrayed him. I think that the people gave up on him. Y'all,
I think they had 100%.
Adam Cole,
like he ran from the grind. He ran from the grind. I'm like, because he wanted to go be a top guy in another company instead of being Butch. That's running from the grind.
Right. What was the grind? He's at the top of the mountain. He ain't grinding no more.
It was no grind. He ran. I'm not even gonna say he left, but he needed Ja to come with him, and you didn't. And that's why he's in the position.
Because NXT and AEW were at the same place. Sure, AEW won the ratings, but like people would view AEW as not Raw or SmackDown, no matter what the ratings would say. Sometimes it's, and that's why I was a fan of Black and Gold over the main roster because that's the type of wrestling I enjoy. And it's like he legit traded spaces, whereas I say Cody Rhodes ran from the grind because he's at the top of the card and.
Cody Rhodes would have ran from the grind. He was an EVP. He had a lot of responsibility.
But realistically, because he never wanted to put himself at the top of the card because it would be looked at away. In WWE, he can be at the top of the card because he's not the guy pulling the strings. He has a star appeal. He created himself by leaving, saying, I'm Dusty Rhodes' son. They never saw it. And even though I got this over, whereas we created Adam Cole, like Matt just said.
But I mean, we kind of created Cody Rhodes too, if you really want to go about it, because it's all based. It's all based off of how much that story you believe. You know, I mean, the idea of the journey from leaving WWE and turning into this indie star that because
we talked about that last White Noise with me. So,
but yeah, because I only say it because the question is why if Cody was going to eventually run from the grind, why even start the situation to begin with? Was it a long con so he could just continue to build the mystique so he could then go back to the WWE to get, a 7-figure payday?
I'm going
Adam Cole, baby.
I'm treating Adam Cole the same way I treated Kobe Bryant. Everybody hated Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
And I started liking Kobe. Just
So
because I started liking Kobe because I didn't like Kobe Bryant.
This is your man's right now.
I started liking Kobe Bryant because everybody hated him. And I rode for Kobe Bryant for at least 15 years. So from here on out, I am going to be an Adam Cole fan.
Oh, fuck. It's not even my birthday, and this is a great present. Yeah. But no, that is this week's episode of White Noise.
What the fuck just happened?
Matt, where can people find you on social media?
Shit, don't find me.
Besides Adam Cole, Stan 1854.
1854 Math Damon, baby.
I can't believe that just happened.
Where's Buffy Podcast? The merch. Black Wrestling at Big Cartel.
Niggas hate Adam Cole, yo. I'm about to love this nigga, son.
He's gonna get the foam finger just do.
Boom.
Do you even sell those? They should.
No, they should. They should.
They should have where like where you point and then it bends at the same time. Like,
if you start trying to make Adam Cole merch, we're gonna have a conversation.
It's over.
Do not bring that design into the
next trip. Droplets merch.
That shit is dropping on Juneteenth.
Khal, where can people find you on social media?
I'm sorry. At Khal on Twitter.
Okay, you know that shit. I got to see Adam Cole twice in person. I saw NXT Live twice. It was dope. Seeing the boom in person, yeah.
Adam Cole on Juneteenth is disgusting.
I'm out, yo.
At Khal on Twitter. At Black Wrestling on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. BlackWrestling.com, YouTube.com/Black Wrestling, Patreon.com/Black Wrestling. But if you already subscribe to the Patreon, you see in this. You could pay the $1 or you could pay the $10. If you pay the $10, you're gonna be seeing these.
Listen,
eventually.
We're gonna get White Noise outside the paywall
at some point.
Like the music gonna be like White Noise.
I told him my idea for the intro. I'll tell you off here, but you can find me on Twitter at Davis aka Drip, Instagram Davis Colon DC. Thanks versus Davis on YouTube.
Hey,
White Noise episode 3 in the books. Stay subscribed to the Patreon. Pay the $1, pay the $10. YouTube Black Wrestling will still be there sometime after, but that's how you get exclusives.
Hey,
so then,
hey.
boom,
boom,
boom.